As I said earlier, governments will have to be focusing on two things. One is preventive care, and the other is curative care. And looking at this from the lens of how to improve this healthcare, one would have to be talking about availability, accessibility of healthcare, and also affordability of healthcare. All these three would have to be moving in line. In order to do that, from my state's perspective as to how we have been wanting to move forward is, we've taken every 2,000 people, every population with every village with 2,000 population as a unit, and we're coming up with village clinics.
Okay.
And then we're taking up every 30,000 population as a unit, and classifying it as mandal, and where we're coming up with 2 PHCs, primary health centers. These primary health centers would have 4 doctors, 2 of the doctors present in each of the PHC center, and they would be given an ambulance 104, and each of this doctor would be given their designated villages. So 5 villages or 4 villages, depending on the mandal size, to each of these doctors. And these doctors, every alternate day, would hop onto the ambulance and visit the village, and they would become the family doctor for that village. Very soon the doctors, because they've been designated only those 4 villages, so they would start to identify people by names, and they would use this village clinic as a hub. This village clinic primarily would be having an A&M, nursing graduate, mid-level health practitioner, and ASHA workers that we spoke about also reporting there. So that would take care of the preventive part. Now comes the curative part. The curative part would be dealing with the community, with district hospitals, the teaching hospitals, and the area hospitals and the teaching hospitals are going to play a very critical role there. So there we are coming up with every parliament taken as a unit in order to ensure that there is equitable distribution of teaching hospitals. Because only when you establish teaching hospitals, you have postgraduate students actually coming up there. And only when you have postgraduate students doing their course there, and these teaching hospitals are connected to a teaching hospital as well. So teaching college and teaching hospital together would become the tertiary care that we are looking for.
Stanford MBA was great for business, and Padayatra, I think, sort of gave me a lot of EQ, which was very important to understand the grassroots challenges of India and my own state. A lot of the policies, a lot of the conversations, a lot of the frameworks that we have developed is based on my walkathon. I believe that's very important. That's where we have taken a very ambitious target to create 2 million jobs in 5 years. We're one of the probably the only political party that makes such a bold statement, and that's why I'm here having this conversation with you, while we have a collectors conference, which is a very important conference that I'm missing back home, because job creation is the center point of this administration. And that's how we are able to attract the kind of investments that we have. Just to quickly, before I jump into my background, I know Abhishek stole my thunder by making the presentation, but 3 reasons why Andhra is able to deliver. One, we have a leadership with track record. Our chief minister requires no introduction. He's done it in the past with a combined state. He's doing it all over again with the new state. 2, speed of doing business. There's no state in India that's talking about it. Everyone's talking about ease of doing business. But let's understand it now. All of the companies here, the kind of investments that they're going to be making could be 10 million, ranging to about $1 billion or even more. A 6 months delay in your project throws your entire business plan. It completely goes out of whack. So we as a state understand the importance of speed of doing business. And I'll give you a few examples of how we got it done. ArcelorMittal. It's well known here. They are going to build one of India's largest steel plant in south of Visakhapatnam. And it all started with one Zoom call with Aditya Mittal. We did one Zoom call. He said he had 3 specific asks from the state. And all I said is, give me 12 hours. I need to confirm it with my chief minister. We got it confirmed and we got the project grounded. So this conversation started in June last year, 2024. Looks like June 24 is a good month because the LG Electronics conversation also started in June 2024. We are going to break ground in November for a steel plant. We got it done. Same thing with a company who shall not be, name cannot be disclosed by me officially. They're going to build one of India's largest data center in Visakhapatnam. It's going to be a 1 gigawatt data center. We started from ground up. That conversation, I think, happened around August, where I drove them personally, showed them the land, and got them excited about Visakhapatnam. To the domestic companies like TCS, with Chandra, I had this conversation, and TCS, because of the economic value that they add to the entire ecosystem and being IT, and you understand this better, we gave them land at 99 paise.
We are coming after you now.
Please, Abhishek, you have your first client ready now. So that's how we get things done. And that's what we mean in terms of speed of doing business. Please understand that, it's not just talk, but we actually mean it. 50% of our legislatures are first-time MLAs. 17 out of the 25 ministers are first-timers. So we bring a lot of passion, hunger. I'm one of the most senior one. This is my second term in Mr. Naidu's cabinet. But we bring a lot of passion, and that brings to the third thing, which is we are a startup state. We are not a Fortune 500 state. We're not content. We are hungry. Yeah. We're hungry for your business. And that's why in the last 15 months of this government, we've landed close to $120 billion investment. And please understand, we don't have an MOU with ArcelorMittal. We have not signed MOUs. We are not in the business of signing MOUs. We are in the business of grounding. That's our business, and we deliver on speed of doing business. So this is a little bit, I just wanted to sort of sum it up with what Abhishek shared. No, if you look at the map, Andhra Pradesh is a peculiarly long state. We have the second longest coastline in India. And being a long state, it lends itself up for decentralized development. So what we have is, cluster-based approach. And I believe that that's very important for ecosystems to not only survive, but thrive. So we've built an automotive ecosystem, of course, anchored around Kia in the southern part. We have an entire ecosystem being built around drone. We have an ecosystem around renewable energy, solar, wind, pump storage projects. We have an ecosystem around electronics, semiconductors in that. And then we have an entire ecosystem around CBG, compressed biogas. The Quantum Valley, as Abhishek just shared, that's one. Aqua is another big thrust area for us as a state. Steel City, led by ArcelorMittal. We have a pharma city, medical devices city, chemical city. So we are able to build all these ecosystems because I believe in the importance of vertical and horizontal integration. Now, what do I mean by it? Now, let's take a mobile phone as an example. The chassis of a mobile phone, the casing, the glass, the camera module, the lens, the battery, the touch screen. These are all again independent manufacturers who then Foxcons of the world bring together and make an iPhone or any other mobile device. What I see is missing is clusterization. And I believe in the power of 100-kilometer radius. We build the entire ecosystem and build it out with a lot of detailing. That's what we've succeeded in Andhra Pradesh. We've started on the journey. We're building it out, and that's our verticals. Now, horizontal is where education comes in, where skills come in, where testing facilities come in. So that's the only way by which we can ensure that these ecosystems thrive. And that's exactly what makes Andhra Pradesh different from the other states in